we'll pick it up the best we can. So basically what he said up to this time is just comparing once again what happens in the weekday and what happens on Yom Tov, or during Chanukah. But we haven't mentioned really Chanukah particularly. We talked about Rosh Chodesh, which is a direct transfusion from the Hod, the Zer Anpin, into the Nuk without going through Yaakov. Vein HaNuk Tefeidach L'Bayla Yaakov. She's not subservient to him, secondary to him, to Yonekas HaRasechel HaYeder Atzma, that she's able to get everything she needs by herself, Masha Enu came to Me'achol, which is not the case during the regular weekday. Shehi Nitzrach L'Bayla He Tefeidach L'Lav. She has to have, it's a very interesting thing, she has to have her husband, because, as we know, she's empty. And so, therefore, she has to get Shefa someplace. If he doesn't get it from Zer Anpin, then she has to get it from Yaakov. So, so he said, V'hine inyan zera b'chuto sefes kedusha. So this fact that she gets the unadulterated, is that the right word, Shefa that's coming out, the brilliant light that's coming out, she's getting it straight to her. That's what's happening. He's talking about Rosh Chodesh, but that's what's happening now. Allah b'zmanim eidach b'yosef b'chol. And she's not subservient to him, or what's the right word, secondary to him. That is it, the same thing. So he's saying, I mean, I don't know really where the differences come in, but he's saying that Purim and Chanukah and Rosh Chodesh have this in common. He said, because if you have the light and you have to give it to the second person, who knows in Rak Ha'ara, what he's giving is not the essence of the light, but actually an illumination that's coming, a glow or a radiance that's coming from it, but this is a secondary light. So this is the big idea here, that she's able to get the light straight out. So she's going to get this more purely. So really, if you think about it, think about where we are right now. We're actually the children of Rachel Imenu. Rachel is Malchus. So therefore, when she gets that shefa by herself, a direct pipeline, on the mekablim shefa yosef gadol. So this is the shefa that he's talking about. Okay, so we're going to bop over here to number Zion on the first page, and it has a little bit of length to it. Now, yesterday in those comments with from the Shem and Sasson, I can't remember all the theories, but he's going to go back over some of that ground and not get into exactly the answers like he said. Let's see what he says. Al Yado, and it comes through him from Hod. So that's the idea that Netzach and Hod pour into Zer Anpin, into Yaakov and Rachel. Yaakov gives one side, that's the Netzach, and Rachel the other side. So he said, Omed ha'inyan bezeh. So let's get into this a little bit more. He says like this: Lo rak she'enem mekabelas shefa shelo ba'atzma, ela al yedei b'bayla Yaakov. It's not that she just doesn't. So it's not just that she gets from. She doesn't get it herself. She has to get it through Yaakov. Ela the ma'acha shehi mekabelas al yada. But after they say that this process during the weekday, she has to get her shefa from Zer Anpin. He mekabelas rak esa aras hamochim shalo. She's only getting a radiance that's coming from his mochim. Shachaklalhu shahamakaber b'mochim yedera acher mekaber rak as hatamsis. It only gets the leftover, so to speak. Now amnam. So we see like that. The tsar bir tova makabalas rav shebimosa chol mekabelas rachel meyakov. Lo Matzina B'Kavanas Yumos HaHol Binyan Rachel Miyakov Bailas, that the construction of Rachel, where she gets the shefa from her husband, Yaakov, Ella called Binyan Yaakov Rachel Minazah. So it's not that he builds her. He's saying, let me read it one more time. ARI Lo Matzina B'Kavanas Yumos HaHol, that's regular date. Shebein Rachel Miyakov B'Baila, what we were talking, Shebinyan, excuse me, the construction of Rachel. Ella called Binyan Yaakov Rachel actually comes from Zer Anpin. So it's Zer Anpin that's mashpia. In the weekday, he's mashpia to Yaakov first. So both of them receive from him. And he says, and they're billed, both of them are built. Beam came Eza Shefa Mekabelas Rachel Miyakov. So if that's the case, in other words, they're ultimately getting the Shefa from Zer Anpin. So why are we getting Yaakov in the game? But Tzarech Iyun. Now I'm not sure that I understood that question, but let's go on. So let me say, this is the explanation. So we understand that. The Rav is really revealing to us here. So first of all, this is coming into Yaakov and Rachel. Let me see if I got the place here. Okay. Shesham Omed Yaakov. So let's see what again he said. B'dechida the Netzach the Zer Anpin, because Yaakov is standing at the Netzach Zer Anpin. Now through that is in that right knee, so to speak, he's got he's also has a shefa for Rachel. Yaakov knows that Rachel is a shefa chashayach alechel. All the shebeseder kavanas yimos achol kosev harab b'derek klalos. He says this shefa nimshach b'zer anpin the Yaakov Rachel. So I'm not sure what he's getting at. He says it's coming from Zer Anpin, and it's going to Yaakov and Rachel. The local Kosev as pratios is shtalshlos hamshachel, but it didn't get into the detail of exactly how it flows. Shenim shechas the Yaakov, and Yaakov the Rachel, and then after Yaakov, then it goes into Rachel. It doesn't get into the detail. Ela de tzarak iyun. What? My timer the ha'alim my timer ha'alim ha'rav, the why did Rav hide this idea? As a pratas that doesn't go into exactly how it gets transferred. Shakoda Mekabach Yaakov, which is the idea that Yaakov gets it first, for whom knows in the Rachel is Chelka Sarach Iyun. Not sure I really got that, but I'm going to move on. So let's go to the next one. How much time we have? Like 3 minutes. Maybe we could do it.
1 minute.
So he says, Ava'ata B'chana Kapurim. Hiyo nekes chelek ha'rasecha min ha'hod al yedech be'ato shelo al yedei Bible. This bar b'divrei harav shekol sedech hamshachas hamochem b'chanacha he who shechanuk mekabelas hamochem ba'atzma upelachu shebesider ein shum kavana v'shum remez al inyan zeh. There's no remez to this. Nobody gives us an idea that he's getting it from for both of them. Zera shebekabelas hanuk al yedech be'atzma. You don't see that in the Siddur. Maybe Raka Gavanas Yehuda B'Vavar. So then it starts getting into that. It's Sarach Ian. The Shem and Sasan, now the Shem and Sasan has been on top of this. He says, Heyer, he illuminates us to this, or arouses us to this idea. Kavar B'Zecha V'Ayin Sham B'Devarim. He says, Nicha Shaver, the other Rabbah. Now, what does this mean? It's simpler than kavanas at tefillah. The heart of kavanas birchas a bracha b'shon in his bar the Zer Anpin knows in the shefa the Yaakov and Rachel. So he's saying the Zer Anpin himself is giving to both of them. Ella dekan b'dibrich harav nizgal alonu the bimos hachol lokeach Yaakov b'techida b'chaskol shefa, who knows in the Rachel as Chalko, and he gives her portion. Helko. Kapshuto. Kedechse beseder. Shazer Ampe Nos and the Yaakov and Rachel and Shefa, the Shnechem B'Shavet. They both get at the same time. That's what it sounds like. Because they're both in the same place. So he's not talking about how she moved over to that position or how the flow's going to go. Let's see exactly. Im Yaakov and Rachel omdim zer b'netz v'zecha b'hod doesn't talk about that. O shnechem b'hod or like that. V'hamakaver and yikaver in the feast seder hazmanim b'pasha. Now here's where it gets confusing for me. Seder hazmanim. Okay, we'll stop right there, and this is the most basic part of this. A lot of repetition, and that's the shiur here today, and we'll get it again tomorrow.